Welcome back to our spring playoff coverage. And now Game 5 between Team Impulse and Team Liquid. These teams are tied up, and it's match point to claim third place. And I have no idea who's going to be able to pull this off with what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that are going to be changing this game. TIP is back on blue, so Xiao, he doesn't even get the option to counter pick. And Rush, they got to give him some jungle priority because his Nunu has been really just not impressive, suboptimal. And that's really big because this team just kind of orbits around how well he does. If he does really well and sets up the lanes, they live and die by Rush.
Well, hopefully he doesn't go absolute zero.
Oh, gosh.
Great. It'd be better than how he's currently doing.
Guy's rubbing off on me.
Yeah, oh man.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm helping you become a funnier person overall.
Oh, but
hurts me.
Another thing is Impact versus his former teammate Piglet right now. You want to end the season on a high note and beat your former teammate to show you might be on a better team right now. It's very important, and this is TIP's first LCS split as a team. Rush came in with no competitive experience, Impact off the World Championship, and if you end the season, like I said, on a high note, it gives you momentum coming into the next season.
Yeah, it does absolutely. And I like how you mentioned sort of the teammates here of Impact and Piglet, because Piglet, you know, he finally got himself a good laner. And to kind of illustrate how much that meant, he was up 40 minions over his AD carry opponent this game at 20 minutes. In his 2 losses, he was down 10.5, right? Got Sivir into a good matchup. The CS at 10, by the way, was also, you know, in the same line where he was winning versus losing in the losses. And getting Piglet a big laner was really important. Another player who is really important to get a good laner is Phoenix. 12, 2, and 16 when they win. If Phoenix gets a good lane, Team Liquid are very good at pivoting off of whichever lane is winning. They used Phoenix's lane to get a lot of pressure on. His Ahri was great. His Corki was very good as well. Get him something where he can excel in lane, and Team Liquid have another person they can use to win the game for them.
And he gets the counter pick.
Yep. So I think it's very likely to happen. I think that's actually really big.
I think it's huge for them because this was also one of the first wins that Impulse was able to get in this. So kind of having the momentum now going into a side they did still get a win on is nice. As well as, again, the Xiao tilt point that we've been hearing from a lot of the professionals, even Dyrus in the beginning. If they can start getting that and getting in Xiao's head, that's exactly the point they can keep going for in the mid lane. It's the easiest to get.
Yeah, I think fatigue actually could be a really important point here in this series. Xiao.
We're about 3 hours in now.
Well,
right. I mean, we started later in the day because we had a 5-game series over in Europe. We're in Game 5 here. You heard from the sort of mic check there. Xiao said he got like 4 hours sleep because he's watching, I assume, EDG. Thankfully it was a 3-0 for him, but like, you know, if he's staying up watching the Chinese series that starts at 2 in the morning.
5 hours. Come on, give him a credit.
Yeah, but okay, sorry, 5 hours. But
just kidding.
I mean, 5 hours sleep before an important match is not something that I would, you know, want my players to have. But Team Impulse on the blue side, they're banning away the tanks from Quas. They're hoping that Quas cannot play something safe so that Impact can crack that lane open.
So is this last ban from Liquid going to be Lee Sin just to take him off his 2 best junglers that he's been performing on Rush's side? I assume so.
Impulse keeps the Urgot ban. No big surprise.
Left open. They could allow that to go through. Rumble is a bit more of a priority. Sejuani.
Whoa.
Holding on this.
Oh my God!
Sejuani's been all over the place, and now she gets picked up.
No, I think this is fine actually for Impulse.
No. This is perfectly fine. But
it's just shocking.
Rush plays it.
Hey, it's better.
And he hasn't been playing it like the last few games.
That's true. He's like smiling. He's like, yeah. He's like, we know we had this champion all along.
It's either that or Impact is like, you are playing this champion, you have no say.
No, look at that. That smile means I have
That's a yawn. He's done with his Nunu play.
And the thing is, the top laner that Liquid thought was going to come in here, Hecarim, that's still up. By the way, Shyvana is still here for Impact to counterpick that. He was happy to... Oh, God, yeah, you're right. So there's so many good champions for Impulse still to play in the top lane against this heavily sought after Hecarim, and Liquid are like, okay, what do we...
Yeah, look at the hold here. We don't see many teams run the clock down, but Cloud9 in a way to kind of work a bit of technique. This, I think, is a little bit of, okay, what do we pick now?
Well, of course they're confused. Rush plays Sejuani. What? You've left it open multiple sets, and he hasn't prioritized that champion. And to first pick it in Game 5, if he knows how to play this champion, land his ultimates, jungle, and apply pressure with that, this could be the game going over to TIP just off that pick because it's a wrench in the plan.
It's a huge pickup, but we got to consider as well, we have not seen him on it, and we have seen Sejuani's make quite a bit of mistakes with that ultimate.
No, it's a big question mark. Sejuani needs to reach a level 6. That ulti is so darn important for her. The more ulti you get in the game, the better you are as a Sejuani player. And if Rush wants to run around and gank people, he's going to delay his levels. And you can get behind on Sedge. So
let's see what they build out of it, because they can still pretty much go any direction. We've seen a lot of things from Impulse, and they could still decide to protect somebody or just go all out with this composition.
And they grab the Kalista once again for Apollo, a strong laning phase champion. Apollo has been good all series long to get him back on a playmaker. The Gnar comes in once again for Impact, saying, you know, I'm going to win my lane no matter what. They've got split pushing power. They've got a strong duo lane, a good team fighting jungler. A lot of good things are available for Impulse.
Went to go find Rush's LoL King. Just be like, how many games of Sejuani has he played? He has 0 wins on that champion. He's got losses on it.
So it's played.
It's played. It's played. He knows the champion, of course.
So plays on a Smurf. Maybe there's more, but yeah. TIP Rush, he's 0-2.
But Liquid, they're looking like it's a protect the Piglet composition again. The Lulu's locked in here.
There.
It might go to Quas. It could go to Phoenix. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a Corki in the mid lane.
Yeah, it could be Phoenix's Corki, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of protection here, and that's what they were winning with a lot. That was their bread and butter for a very long time, was the Lulu Protect Piglet comp.
And keep in mind, Azir is still on the table too. Nunu Azir for Phoenix could be absolutely brutal. And Xiao can't play Kassadin blind here without getting wrecked by a different matchup. So Ziggs is the pickup. It's safe.
Wow.
It's a damage contributor in a team fight, and you can outrange Azir. I think Ziggs is probably one of the best choices in this situation.
It's team fight.
I thought that was a hover, but he has hovered it pretty much every game in this series and finally picks it up. When's the last time we saw Ziggs? Exactly. You both just looked at me with a blank stare.
Like yesterday and
last night.
If you watched it, Xiao did. He was awake.
Yeah. No, Ziggs has been on his way back. He got buffed a couple matches ago. As people keep saying, Athene's is back. Athene's a really good item on him as well. Been waiting to see him come back in, so Ziggs here for Xiao.
And they needed something with a lot of wave clear, especially when you're up against Lulu Corki, and it's possibly a mid lane Corki. You can't let that fall to the wayside.
Hopefully it's not too many eggs in one different basket, if you will. Now that Ziggs in the mid lane, the Sejuani for Rush, if these things don't work together, we could see Impulse falling apart very quickly here and trying new things on the LCS stage.
And here's the Lucian. Champion.
As you said, Freakin' had been kind of pushed to the wayside. Games were carried, but
yeah, Severina Corki was a good lane matchup. That was a great choice there. Now he gets Lucian into Kalista, which is fine as well. He can escape from the Rend train, so a lot of good things for Piglet here. The dual lane of TL should look good. TIPs can do just as well. That's going to be a very contentious lane. Xiao gets to escape the oh god, it's Azir thing, so that's fine. Ziggs and a Corki should be okay. But we get to see Rush on his first Sejuani.
I'm excited because this is team fight versus double AD carry kite backwards protection comp. Both teams are playing pretty much their favorite composition.
Right. This is what we usually get out of that game 5, right?
But TIP can crack this apart. They've got hard engage, they've got follow-up engage, they've got a hell of a lot of follow-up damage as well. Impulse can definitely crack this double AD comp. It's a lot of weight on the I will dominate Nunu shoulders. If he can't hold up against the front line, if he can't tank Apollo for a good 5 seconds to buy time for Piglet and Phoenix, Team Liquid's comp is going to crumble.
See how they utilize that Fate's Call as well. Not really an ultimate they're going to use to be getting into too much, but they can definitely keep people at bay and keep Adrian safe. They need to do some crazy stuff. Fly on your left, Pete on the right for Impulse on your left, and Liquid.
The last walk they'll do.
The last walk they will do here for third, fourth place match.
So the curse. Is it alive? Is it dead? Team Liquid, one final choice to get third place.
That's right. It all comes down to this right now. Team Impulse versus Team Liquid. Let us know one final time who you think is going to come out ahead. Send hashtag TIP win or hashtag TL win to @LOL Esports. And we will, one last time, update your votes throughout the game. And you will know after this who is the third place and who is the fourth. We're going to be on to the Rift in just a second. Game 5 here. It's been a long day. The players have given it everything they've got in the last bit to be on the Rift. Now, let's get this over with.
Let's get this started. I don't want this over with just yet.
Both teams hoping that over with is in their favor, for sure. See how much respect here is given each time. It's a little bit more. The mid lane, not so much. They're definitely throwing punches at the beginning, but the line of scrimmage becomes much more apparent, less invading towards these parts of the game, because any bit of advantage is completely weighed with a bit of a tilt at this point, this long in the game.
And Impulse once again putting the wards down that watch for a bot lane freeze. We've seen so many different types of level 1. Sometimes you hard dive with 5 and you get deep wards down to the turrets. Sometimes you wait for an invade. Sometimes you sneak your AD carry into one of the brushes and just like, maybe we're going to hide our lanes. Impulse, they choose deep lane brush wards, and they will know where Piglet's going. They'll know if he's trying to freeze pretty early on.
It looks like they are going to do Krugs, though, on Piglet's side, so they're not going to get that much information from this. And those wards will expire by the time he actually wants to walk into those lanes.
So, Quas as well, starting with consumables, so he can keep the 2v1 pushed if it matches up that way.
Oh, Impulse, I think they read this. They're going for the initial freeze and not for the Gromp start. Yeah, you wouldn't do this unless you expected a lane swap. And Impulse just going to get behind in the 2-on-2 because of this.
Oh, they see it, though. They see the Spectre.
Got to be a little bit afraid on Janna.
Oh, boy.
Here. Walk right into Piglet. He'll be okay. Loses only a little bit of health.
Smart start on the shield, the way it's usually done.
The blows being exchanged. Phoenix.
This is great in the middle lane.
It's way better for Phoenix. Xiao Xiao is going to lose a lot of health. Oh. He's only got 2 potions. That's both potions burned, essentially.
Phoenix going for the sustain war immediately. That's the thing, is if you build for sustain in your starting build, you have to deal damage and try to out-sustain them. The trades are worth it at that point.
Phoenix also getting the chug on that potion as well, so he is definitely getting a bit more of that HP back. The consumables helping him as well to keep those Frost Bombs coming and give Xiao Xiao a hard time. Piglet looks like he wants to push with Special in this top lane as well. Something Adrian and Apollo are doing quite a bit throughout these games, but they want the upper hand. Liquid wants to put their foot down immediately here in every lane.
And Liquid already in the advantage in this lane, hit level 2 first. They zone off Team Impulse's duo lane, which denies them a bit of CS. So far, so good. Rush is getting his own jungle start. Blue buff taken up. He's already gotten the red. Level 3 for the Sejuani, and he's near top side.
Oh, and they went in.
Level 1 on Apollo takes a lot of damage. Exhaust already burned on a Piglet. Rush coming in now, but there's just, I don't know if there's enough crowd control to make this stick anyway.
Not going
Rush
completely in.
is on top of a ward anyway. And now TL. They can counter gank. Dominic gets spotted though, and that is big news for Impulse. Out they go.
They probably know that's warded, satcheled out. So already this early game, definitely a little bit of action from both teams trying to start a gank. Now Dominate trying to stop a gank, but Dominate's being a little aggressive. Looks like he'll stop and take the Scuttle Crab as we see. Xiao Xiao trying to get in range for that CS, has to use his flash.
Dom, he's got the Consume up.
Consume's up right now, and he's going to try for it. Ice Blast, nice pick up.
Well prepped too. He's got Scuttle to make his way out if he needs it.
And the mid laner's already pressured out. Ignite on Phoenix. You talk about the sustain war. Pushed his opponent around. Went back in for another all-in. Forcing the flash of the, by the way, Ghost Flash Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao ghosted to get back in a lane. Adrian getting jumped on level 3 versus 2. A lot of damage dealt there. This 2-on-2 matchup not good for the Impulse duo lane.
They're trying to make the best of it too, though. Lucian, big lane bully, like you were saying. And Piglet, he's trying to just win the lane flat out. And if TIP can hold even, they'll be okay.
See if you can get a few more attacks. Unfortunately, they went on to Apollo, then Adrian. So both have healed up nicely, but that's exactly what Piglet and Special want now. One more attack, and they have no more potions to use. That lane is technically theirs. Already with a bit of a CS lead.
Impulse can't even CS here. Look at this.
Right,
they're letting these minions go down.
Yeah, not even trying to get it from brush and then hide back in here. It's going to be tough for them.
There's actually a TP advantage for Quas right now. Impact was forced to back and get himself some magic resistance so he can hold up against Quas's Lulu.
Wow.
So this TP advantage, you know Quas is not somebody who just squanders that. He likes to TP in, likes to make plays, and get the rest of the map going.
Every single lane for Team Liquid is winning in a meaningful way. It's either in CS or in a summoner spell lead, if not both. I will dominate on a result of these advantaged lanes. He's going to go for the quick dragon pickup. Easy solo for him. Dominate is getting consumed max. He's got 2 points in here right now.
And Dominate has been doing just that. His Baron steals, the control he's had over games as well is for sure giving confidence to his team around the map, and everybody's definitely benefiting from the power he's bringing.
Like we were always saying, he's an emotional player.
He is emotional, very.
But that's the thing, is if he gets going, he gets his entire team going too, and they just get hyped and ramped up. It's huge for their mentality.
That's a little bit more emotion and a little bit more power for the team with that first dragon.
It's going to be an easy pink ward clear as well. Xiao Xiao just put that one down, but Dominate, Sightstone Rush, doing well for himself, really putting Team Liquid very far ahead. They don't have kills, they don't have turrets, but they're up 500 gold anyway.
That's another thing Dominate was kind of dealing with all season, as we saw in those videos, is we're going to need you to be a vision jungler now. We're actually going to need you to be lane control, and he would swap back and forth. This team, as you said, Freak, this time, pulling that vision jungler style, and it's really working out for the team. Xiao's got himself back up into this mid lane, 42 to 42 CS there. And not too much trouble, as we just got level 6s there in the mid lane.
Oh, nice.
He's hooks on Adrian.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of damage back onto Xpecial. The W from Sentinel is actually really massive. Props for Adrian, though he's running away, to make sure he lands and auto attack. But of course, if it's a really short trade, Xpecial's rank 1 shield is enough to survive these encounters really cleanly. Impulse pushed the wave out, which would make them gankable, but with the vision control they have, it's not going to be a Nunu. Oh, you got one of them.
Oh, there's the TP from Quas into the bottom lane.
Okay.
Because of the shove and the fact that there was a Negatron cloak, Impact tried to bully him as much as possible and force a buy.
It's like everybody's going to get it back here and see what they can get. That should be a finished phage coming in for Phoenix. He's got 900 gold on him, so that's easy. Not too much of a spike, but everybody's getting what they need without giving up too much here on the side of Team Liquid.
Xiao actually got a really damn good recall because he managed to catch the wave before it got pushed in after buying Chalice, and he can shove this wave in a little bit before Phoenix arrives and get just a small lead here.
It is a
His summoners are coming back up as well.
Hopefully he's going to deny that minion. Nicely done.
Actually, he might not. Corky's going to be here.
Oh, you're right.
Wow, he missed nothing. Wow, okay, take it back.
It's a good recall for Phoenix because cannon minion waves just have so much HP in them.
Right.
It took Ziggs a while to actually clean it out. And he doesn't have the AP to full wave clear just yet.
All right, well played by Phoenix. Recalls right before the cannon wave. All is well for him. Misses 0. Chalice versus Phage. Now the duo lane actually is only within 3 minions, so Apollo and Adrian, for the early deficit, have done a really good job of catching back up, but Piglet's already recalled back for his BF sword. So a very scary duo lane for sure, especially once Nautilus reaches level 6.
Speaking of level 6s, Dominate gets it by stealing the red buff away.
All over their jungle. Look at those wards.
Yeah, Rush does have level 6 now, though, and see if he can make any moves on this Sejuani. First time Sejuani.
Buff over to Xiao. We'll see. Those ults will be very telling if he holds or throws immediately with gap closers on his opponents, or rather escapes.
Rush doesn't strike me as the type of jungler that's going to hold his ultimate.
He will flash point blank and then throw it.
Yeah.
He'll get real close. Melee attack, Sejuani ult.
Team Liquid, though, they're basically lane lead is allowing them to just really control the vision game. Xpecial gets to walk in by himself into the river, clear away a pink ward. No one stops him. Dominate was able to steal a red buff away. So many good things happening for Team Liquid off the lane lead. Good shot calling by them to abuse that.
Heading towards the top lane now. Xpecial, see if he can get a little bit of action and a bait in for Piglet here. He's going to be clearing some sentinels. He gets himself out safely. So Dominate 40 to 35 in that CS. Rush is still keeping up pretty well and now trying to get something with this ultimate in the bottom lane. Should be able to squeak up into the forward brush.
They're looking for that top lane jungle synergy.
Yeah. Could be hard to kill him.
Oh, Rush showed.
Lands the W. He can ultimate to the wall. Rush doesn't even try.
He showed and he started to back. He popped out just a quarter second too early, backed up, and chickened out.
It's hard to hide a poor on a brush. Seriously.
Yeah, well, Impact burns his ulti, loses half his health bar, even though he rushes the Hex Drinker here for the lane power. Quas really surviving this matchup quite well. In fact, winning in CS. The blind pick Gnar, counter pick by the Lulu very cleanly. We had asked a couple times, where's the Lulu? Why aren't Team Liquid playing it? They like to play around this champion so much. And here they have it, and Quas winning his lane for it.
They may have lost a little faith in it because the 2 times they played it against Cloud9 didn't work out for them.
Looks like this one against Team Impulse is going quite nicely. Team Liquid now up 1,000 gold from the laning phase here.
Rush is up in top lane, though. There it goes.
Follow ulti's gonna catch them both on the stun. The dive forward won't catch anyone. Piglet. They didn't even have to flash. They just both dashed away.
He didn't even permafrost or anything.
Pretty long range bowler there. I don't think really in range for anything else. The team was pretty surprised. So no follow-up coming from the first Sej ult in the top lane. That just gives a little bit of knowledge to Liquid that they are safe for the time being from that in their other lanes, respectively. So the push continues here. Definitely a lot less aggressive from Impulse.
And right now there's a massive lead in the 2-on-2. He's going to get this wave, so it's going to be plus 10 CS only, but 10 minions at 10 minutes is a gigantic lead, to be completely honest here. Xiao trading well with Phoenix, but slowly but surely, Gold is bleeding away from Team Impulse here, and Liquid getting farther ahead. Dragon number 2 going to respawn in 30 seconds. Impact tries again. Good dodge by Quas. Rush heading down, but they just don't have the damage to kill anything. He's going to get Scuttler in time for Dragon. That's a good choice by Rush here. But when you don't have any map control, when you don't have any winning lanes, good luck controlling Dragon.
Yep. Have to see when these dual lanes get swapped back to the bottom.
Forward.
Quick aggression there coming out of Team Liquid.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Rend.
Surprised the summoner healed.
It's a little scary.
Doesn't know who actually is off on the wings. Piglet's going to back on this one. We may get that swap coming up quite soon here. Dragon is alive. A dodge on the Inferno Bomb by Phoenix as he just velks forward here. Now has not the upper hand in the lane, but can be a bit safer as Xiao uses that to just back.
Looks like Xiao is going to be really close to the Fiends combine off of all this, and I think the ulti was for that, though actually apparently he's one wave short as he's still staying in the lane. Maybe a mistimed ulti there. He's just waiting around doing nothing.
Because math.
Yeah. He's going to have Rush come up and help him clear this wave, make sure he can get back in a very timely fashion.
You can see Xpecial trying to help this wave from getting pruned out by the turret so Piglet can get everything he needs. Still up in CS from having to back and getting that free lane to Apollo. So like you said, Freak, a really big disparity coming out of the dual lane in favor of Piglet and Xpecial. Quas still taking the house in the kitchen sink from Impact a few times, but he's been holding very well in that lane, and the teleports are definitely going to play a big role here as these guys have, with their consistency, going to be able to offer everything in this first fight.
Nothing's Ludens or Rage.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like Deathcap.
I remember being on the desk. I remember being on the desk with Prawley, and every time somebody took a Zonius, he was like, he's a coward. Go Deathcap. Every time.
Hey, man. Real Ziggs players just play with fire all the time. It's basically like playing in character. Ziggs is clearly fearless. I mean, his escape is blowing something up under his feet.
It's true. Nothing happening right now for either team. This lull was really what played in the favor of Liquid last time. They didn't let an advantage go. They were able to hold it slowly, and eventually Impulse got a little antsy. Tendencies came back. They were able to get a few picks off and really open up the map. A lot of those came from Quas's teleports last time, so it's not going to be the same with a Lulu.
Exactly. That's his thing. Is Quas, who's been so good all series on a low-impact champion, Impact himself on this Gnar isn't really getting any progress done himself.
It's for the team fights, though. They want that frontline, that AoE team fight here from TIP.
But this is also a team.
They got the ward down, though. They see that Dominate is actually around the Dragon. They're collapsing around it now.
All right, well, Dragon has begun. Quas already on the correct side of the map for this one. The dual lane pretty far away for TIP. Rush, if he wants to flash, could go to flash to get out, could try to steal. Picked up cleanly. Team Liquid get Dragon number 2.
The bite and smite comes through for Dominate. He has been on point with grabbing all of the objectives for the team, thieving away the Barons and making sure those Dragons are secured. Rush, however, we've been seeing him get those Dragons first a lot of these games, and this is the first time we've seen Liquid really start to put a majority on that.
A huge emphasis on objective control for them that they haven't had in the past. They've been kind of seeding them and letting them fall into their lap whenever it's given to them by TIP, but now they're forcing it, and that is partially due to the fact that Dominate is on the Nunu, and that's how he likes to play, because he likes to take the jungle when he can. As soon as Rush shows in a lane, he gets to punish him. And Impact...
He's actually starting to get ahead.
Yep.
Quas is going... What does that build into? Oh, he's doing cooldown boots, or sorry, what is it? Fiendish Codex into Luden's Echo, I think. Quas is actually wanting to be a damage threat. Luden's Echo is actually the biggest damage spike item you can buy in Lulu. And so wanted to actually get some pressure, some kill pressure, I should say. I've not seen that build before.
And you charge that thing up so quickly when you whimsy yourself.
Yeah.
Good point. He's going to be offering a lot of utility. Why not get yourself there faster and add a little bit of base damage as well? He's right now pushed up against the turret, so all this mana regen And ability power is helping nicely to clear the waves out. 10 CS up right now on Impact, who's being safe. We'll probably see a TP Gnar. Right behind him is going to be Rush for now. We'll see if they try to get anything out of this gank, but it looks like Rush, he's going to back. Maybe not.
Off the loop recall, Impulse could get some decent damage down. Doran's Blade plus Hexdrinker is a decent amount of turret damage. So it looks like Rush would rather stay in Flag of War, not going to have a push coming on in. The 2-on-2 actually catching back up is Apollo and Adrian, who are sitting at 142 to 142 basically right now. The Bloodthirster also making it pretty much impossible to push him around.
Right. That was a good buy.
Yeah, so this 2-on-2 basically equal. The mid lane, plus or minus 9. The top lane, plus or minus 5. But of course, the early Avarice Blade, Team Liquid holding up 1,000 gold. The jungler being a part of that as well.
Oh, Kloss. He's going to take some damage for that. Not too much, though. This top lane is where a lot of leverage is going to come from if Impact ends up getting a little bit ahead and can actually bully Kloss. You saw Dominate had to run up top in order to relieve pressure during the back.
But Impact can't build for the lane, right? He's there to be a team fight tank. Right. He's going for Randuin's Omen next. Okay, Hexdrinker for a bit of the laning phase, but Quas has NL Rod now. He's going to have Luden's Echo very soon, and Impact will no longer be able to win this lane once that item comes through.
I actually saw him doing the same thing in his first Gnar game. He just went straight magic resistance, knew it was pretty much going to be a little bit for around some of the laning phase.
Well, yeah, he was against like a Vlad and another...
Yeah, we'll see what works for him here. He's still waiting to get a good teleport in. Something that we saw kind of work against Gnars, where teams would just recognize the ults up, walk away, and not doing anything. It seems like it fizzled out. Every time there's been a fight, Impact has come in at like max Gnar bar, already ready, not half gone. Not at a bad time. It seems like Team Impulse is really on point with coordinating that Gnar fury.
So he didn't clear the ward, but...
He swept it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He was just a man on a mission.
He's got to dust it off.
He swept. He didn't see any wards. He's good.
It's been mostly a game of just the junglers. And to explain that one, it's an 800 gold lead right now for I Will Dominate because he's just managed to jungle better. Rush spent a little bit of time looking for ganks. He sent one Sedge ulti out. It failed. And otherwise, Rush has actually just been getting out-jungled by the Nunu.
That's how you should play Nunu, though. Yeah. Is you should get these tiny incremental advantages from stealing camps, from stealing buffs, and taking objectives over your opponent. And basically starving them.
He's done it with pretty much without being seen. If you think about it the entire time. He has avoided Impulse the entire time. Dominate is just... He's got that serpentine going. Can't be hit. All the way through. Still with that Sightstone providing forward vision for the team. Looks like he's trying to get in here with Xpecial for a quick moment onto Adrian, but this is all getting set up a minute and a half early for the Dragon.
They're going to be a little late to this bottom lane. They had to back, and there we go.
Ziggs.
Wablam.
Wablam. Nothing else to done. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Oh, the TP got canceled. Impact TP, but he canceled it. He's going to fight Quas after.
Very right. That TP would have come out in perfect Gnar form for them. Wild Growth's going to stop this one, but the Hyper will keep him in range. The shield's going to clear that first bit of Hyper damage there, and he will not get the extra added on. Even the Randuins didn't keep Quas in range. Flash was blown, however, for Quas, and ultimate on that one.
All right, really nice then by Impact. He's actually getting ahead in this lane despite the Luden's Echo. That surprises me quite a lot, but well played by Impact for doing this. Xiao though in a pretty bad spot up against Trinity Force. Corki Phoenix is, by the way, going for his own Luden's Echo here. So the poke is going to be so incredibly strong from Team Liquid in this game.
Yeah, and it's going to be really dependent on Impact and Rush if they can start these fights and get their ultimates off onto the Corki. Back line.
Oh, watch
from
out.
The side.
He's got Flash, but no ult. The W's down for one more second. Absolute Zero is going to stun both. Flash away.
He doesn't have E for 2.
Mini Gnar, though, makes he runs faster. His hop's going to be up fairly soon. Ice Blast. The Ludens comes across. And in comes Phoenix. But Quas might get chased down by Rush. Rush has Flash. Xiao will trade with Phoenix. Dominate's still on the run. Rush just can't get the damage down anymore. These guys are so low on health. And Rush can't quite do it. He's going to try, but Dominate's too tanky. Oh, Rush can't get the damage down. He had flashed for it, and it wasn't enough anyway.
But they do get the turret down bottom in exchange for it. They lose the turret in middle, though, so it goes 1-for-1 in turrets.
And be careful, it's a 2-on-2. Quas has TP. It could be a 3-on-2 soon. Team Liquid could pressure these guys and get a kill for it.
What a back and forth. The bottom lane is where the pressure is mounting now. Piglet for Apollo and Adrian, the 2v1. The culling comes out. A little bit of a tickling there on Adrian. Not a whole lot of damage that he got come out. They're going to have to back off on this one. Wow, they're standing tall versus a lot of members of Liquid here.
Impulse can win this one. There's no ult on Rush, but Piglet is too injured to really fight here. If Tip knows the best, they would actually just rush down in this one and pray they kill it in time.
Yeah, and the zone control from the Ziggs. You just set up your Hexplosive minefield in choke points, and he still has his ultimate too on Xiao Xiao.
Well, be careful though, because Dominate has Smite stolen basically everything all series long. Rush better land this one. That's true, as long as they do it right. They didn't last time. It does go over to the blue side. Ziggs ult, they chase in on a Dominate, half health. He's forced to flash away. Xpecial buys some time, but Adrian heals him up. Fates call in, doesn't get quite get the re-engage he wanted. Gets the 1-for-0, out goes the team. A lot of poke comes through, but a 1-for-0 and a Dragon. It's a godsend for Team Impulse.
Desperately needing that Dragon, not giving the third over to Liquid, because if you get that movement speed on a double AD that's going to have Blood Boil and a Nunu, it's spelling absolute disaster for these team fights, because you need to be able to catch them.
Losing Dominate in the beginning of that one as well. A lot of zone potential from the ultimate was lost there. Impulse cleans up nicely over at the Dragon. And that was Apollo, as you said, Freak, able to run that one out for the team. So great plays by them. Xiao goes back to pick up blue, and it looks like these guys are ready to keep their lanes getting pushed as Impact goes ahead and 10 to the top.
And confirmed Riv, 80 carries, better mechanics than top laners. Lands the Ren that Impact could not smite. Blue buff once again to Xiao. For all of Dominate's jungle pressure, he hasn't stolen a blue buff, only reds. So Xiao is always able to have a full mana bar, constant wave clear. He's just matching with Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix is doing just fine himself, but it's weird for both these teams. Just having a mid lane that farms without dying has been a reason this team has won. And now they both have this, essentially, where the mid lane's going just fine for them.
Yep.
Unsurprisingly, very close game.
Playing for the team fights at this point, and that was a team fight that just happened where Rush didn't have his ultimate.
Yeah.
He used it previously top. They didn't get anything for it. But now he has it up. And like I said, he doesn't seem like the type of guy who wants to hold on to that. As soon as it's up, it looks like he's always searching for a target, searching for some action. And that's looking at the bottom lane.
He did the turret, backdoors it, whatever. Who cares about turret damage?
He's got to kill it now. If he waited a couple seconds more.
No one was around, thankfully, for Piglet. But either way, 2 turrets to 1. Team Liquid in Game 5 up 2,000 gold. And you can just see the stress both these teams are under. They're playing so slowly. Not wanting to make that one mistake that loses their team the third place match here.
Liquid want to break the curse. TIP want to show that despite looking like a solo queue team at the start of the season, they have come together, and that Rush can play a tanky jungler. He can adapt, and that Impact can beat his former teammate. There's so much on the line here for both of these teams. And 20 championship points.
That's actually a lot on the line still.
20 extra.
All the points.
20 extra points. Dash would be proud. Here we go. Impact still on split push duty. This Gnar 0-1 and 2 goes for a Sunfire Cape third.
Whoa.
Really wanted to just sit in the back lines. I'm not sure I love it.
So Ludens are completed on Lulu and Court.
Whoa.
But the Zeke's Herald.
Stark's Fervor. No, Zeke's Herald.
It's Zeke's Herald.
Just kidding. Good correction.
There's the throwback.
The throwback. We've all been there.
He's just trying to supplement the damage from his AD carries. Really?
Like, it's a bunch of health and CDR. Like,
yeah, it's a good item for it, right? It's like, I got a Sight Stone that has CDR on it, right? Like, that's basically the combat stats that you're buying. No Sight Stone, though. But it gives them 10% lifesteal and 20 attack damage. Yeah. This turret's going to go down, though. Rush is right here.
I want to see him dive. Apollo going to take some stuns, but the rest of the team is actually rotating up very shortly. Yep. Apollo staying in the front lines, but here comes Phoenix. A great stun to buy a bit of time. Apollo forced to flash out. Rush now very low. I will dominate. Zoning out with absolute zero. The Ziggs ulti doesn't seem to do very much. An Impact back to Mininar. Has to run away, but he's going to go down. A 2-for-0 off the turret. Adrian. That's a kill. Boop. I will dominate with the Cinder Hulk Aura. It makes it a 3-for-0. Team Liquid up 2,500.
That's absolutely huge for their morale, because they're going to go straight towards the Baron with this Nunu.
Could it be big things for them to get these pushes on their lanes that have been taken down and are majority on their side of the map? They're actually pushing in for Xiao. The Ignite, the hit, the Glitter. Oh, the Glitter takes him down. Quas comes up big on that one for his first kill of the game. That Luden's speed helping him out so much, and he finalizes that kill. They pick up Baron, and now they can start to work the rest of the map.
Xiao was not there during the team fight, and Quas didn't even have to use his TP.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot of things going right for Team Liquid in that fight. Played it perfectly, and Rush threw his ultimate out when there was no follow-up damage, and it was a little too early because not everybody had been in attendance just yet, and you're going to see it right here.
So everything seems all right, yeah?
Yeah, they put the ward down. It's going to be a team
right there. That ultimate only hits 2 people, and then 4 more trickle in, and Apollo is already zoned off the back of the fight. Adrian's here, but he doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. And then look at Xiao on the map. He gets only his ultimate off in this fight, and then he throws in some bombs, and nobody decides to walk through the field at all. They don't have to.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Jerks.
Phoenix got a bit low. Piglet managed to get away from the ultra. The Mega Inferno bomb just, the damage wasn't quite there. The faster rotation, honestly, the big reason right there. Well played by Team Liquid. With this Baron buff now, they are looking to siege. They're up 4,000 gold. TIP's wave clear, though, still pretty good. Yep. The siege game is going to be difficult.
The momentum definitely seems to be playing in the favor of Team Liquid here, coming off of Game 4 so strong into Game 5. Carrying it across each lane now as they decide to take the pressure off of mid lane. Obviously 10 seconds onto Dragon. They want to be the first one there. It doesn't even look like Impulse is going to want anything to do with this.
Good split pushing Team Liquid. All 3 outer turrets down now. Back to Dragon. Dragon number 3, uncontestable against Baron buff, and with all the wave control these guys have, there's the movement speed buff. Team Liquid, still a lot of room to work with here. Looking to break the curse, and it's very likely that they do. Now in the enemy jungle, they're going to try to catch this Kalista. Apollo, the flash Q is going to land, rooted up out of the turret, the knockup, and there's the kill. Quickly claimed. Nice Team Liquid.
That's exactly the things you don't want to see start happening.
Nope.
Unless you're a Team Liquid fan or a member of Team Liquid, then you definitely want that to happen.
Especially, the great Righteous Glory from Xpecial, and Piglet able to pick up that kill. That only means that they are feeling much more comfortable here in Game 5, and that gives you such an advantage.
Oh man.
Trying to figure out how to stop this bleeding right now, and Liquid is not stopping at all. They turn it even tighter and start to suffocate Impulse.
3 for 1 overall, counting the Kalista from before. They're going to still go after this turret. They don't have a minion wave just yet. It's right behind them.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of work
done. Both AD carries still alive.
4 versus 3, 25-second respawn timers. Down goes the turret. Now to the inhibitor. Team Liquid going to claim that one pretty easily. Mininar not very tanky. A bit of time bought against Phoenix, but there's still not a lot Impact can do for this team. 0-2 and 2.
Wow. What a dominating game coming out of these guys. Another game at 30 minutes. Our previous game was pretty much ending in a few minutes right now, but Liquid have still found their way into the base here. 30 minutes into the game. They only have a few more turrets to drop if they want to get to the Nexus ones.
Phoenix is buying a death cap. He's playing AP core.
So I said double AD carry. Take it back.
Just kidding, guys.
Only 1 AD carry on this team. The other one's a marksman that just so happens to be building AP.
Okay.
There's the Zhonya's.
Okay,
not
Zhonya,
a death
close
cap.
enough. Hey, I had
awesome. Oh no,
What does he even need Zhonya's?
Not calling
He's been Valkyrieing forward all game. He's going to do that, and then Zhonya's afterwards.
Great.
For the bait.
He's going to use Valkyrie like it's equalizer.
Yes.
Is he maxing a second?
Oh man, Valkyrie damage is.
He's not.
Everyone takes after double lift.
It's still 260 magic damage a second.
Per second. Yep.
That's basically equalizer.
We'll see if he can lay it down in the correct positioning that also allows himself safety.
So what is this for?
Hard hats are going to be on for that fight for sure. And it looks like they are going to start pressuring a bit towards the top side. Members, or rather grouping up for them is where they are finding the safety. 2 top lane as Phoenix and Quas decide to push. And a little bit of a defensive meat wall here. You got Dominate and Xpecial just walking on their way through. Nobody can really deter this push, and it looks like just the Mega Inferno Bomb once again being used in defense. It doesn't even deter them.
Not there in time. Team Liquid knocks the turret down. Rotation play has always been very good. No one saw that, Piglet. You're fine. Just get whimsy, walk around. You still beat your team there. Good job, Quas, helping your teammates out. But yeah, Team Liquid, the rotation game's been strong. 6 turret kills already. Mid lane tier 2 now under fire. Baron buff. You know what? They don't need it anymore. These guys are up 8,000 gold. Impulse's back's up against the wall. Going to be a difficult choice to defend this one. And not even a chance to defend. Turret after turret. Ow. More goes to Team Liquid.
Backs against the walls. 3.5 hours going, and Team Liquid has definitely persevered in the mental and physical state coming into this one. 9-3 on the scoreboard. It's one of the, I think, higher games in early kills that we've seen. Usually it was creeping up 4-4, 5-5, and then somebody would explode. But Liquid has found everything they wanted throughout this game. And like you said, they want to break the curse, even coming in here with new members on the team of Phoenix and Piglet to kind of take that burden as well. And they want to get it clean for the history of the team.
Yeah, top 3, a pretty darn good finish in the North American
Absolutely.
LCS, and Team Liquid.
Especially with all the troubles they faced this
year. Sure. I mean, what a great turnaround of a season for TL. All the hashtag Keep Keith, right? Piglet having just one of the worst regular seasons I've ever seen from a player. And coming into playoffs, absolutely dominating, winning his lane here, 2-0-3 in this game, playing some lane-dominant champions, and actually coming out of that lane doing well. Phoenix also an absolute star in the playoffs so far.
And here's the thing is, this is kind of a way for Piglet to erase a bit of the past and show that he's just become acclimated to the team.
Yeah.
Because if you place 3rd after everything that's happened, people are not going to remember your scores during the regular season. They're going to remember how you performed in playoffs, how you clinched that game at the end, and how you've been 40 CS up over your lane opponent during those crucial matches. Because when the pressure is on, that's when it matters. We saw CLG 2nd for most of the season, ends up in that 6th place spot, 6th, 5th.
Yep.
Now,
as long as you throw the knockout punch,
the 6th place team coming in
for themselves.
Might get third.
They had to win a tiebreaker to even reach the playoffs. They were
barely
tied for 6th to get in the first place.
Never given up, that's for sure. Both of these teams playing very strong. He just wanted the ward. It's going to cost him half of his HP. Will they follow? Oh, it's going to be a defense.
God.
Piglet's able to clear that one out. And they quickly Fates call Adrian out of there into a safe situation. This is going to be Baron again for Team Liquid, and things are only looking better as time goes on in Game 5.
Nobody remembers your regular season stats if you just call us Sejuani to death. That was absolutely crazy. And then the follow-up crits, they're going to get themselves another Baron, and Impact has been relegated to just pushing bottom lane after the inhibitor went down. He cannot be in any of these fights or even allow them to start them, and he's their main frontliner.
Oh, Rush. His adaptation to the tank popularity, I guess tank meta, as some people call it.
Got the better of him.
He pulled a lot of Lee Sin bans, and then in Game 5 chose to say, you know what? I'm going to play Sejuani after all.
Yeah.
His performance on tanks that were not Gragas has not been good so far in the playoffs. Very hyped player, but so far not great for Rush in the late half of the series. Team Liquid. The bottom inhibitors respawn, but any one of these 3 lanes could be pressured with this Baron buff here. This could be a game-winning push. Piglet over the wall!
Oh dear. Saw this.
Here, Piggy.
Whoa! Woo!
Runs away.
Doing a bit of that when they were feeling comfortable in their previous matchup as well. He got himself into some sticky situations when he feels like he's too ahead of the game. Now with half HP, I'm sure that's dialed back just a little bit.
I think it's a mistake by Xiao. He burned the ulti. You're going to have a guaranteed Sigil in a fight at some point, and they need the follow-up damage to kill off these AD carries. You can't always block the Glacial Prison off your back line. Impulse needs a explosive team fight where somebody gets one shot.
It's Meganar right now. Rush has to go, but he's getting blocked off.
Getting blocked by Dominate. Impact has no one to jump off. Now that these Meganar, the hop's much shorter.
Well, great positioning there by Dominate. As you guys were saying, no ultimate could be fired off from Rush, and they literally have no worry here. Bottom lane's going to start pushing in. This is when Impulse starts to get spread thin, and they need Apollo in the bottom lane. Only more damage is going to come to this turret with every wave. It's
impressive
going
by
down
Impulse to keep this turret alive in a dedicated 4v5 with Apollo in the bot lane, but one more attempt comes in for Liquid. The poke power is quite strong. That rocket misses though, and Dominate down to half. This could be a very strong engage for Impulse as the health bars have been really chunked down, but no such engage happens.
You always have to worry a little bit too with the engage from TIP.
Oh,
they could turn it.
That Xiao wave clear, definitely giving them a little bit of breathing room on Ziggs. They get away from the bottom lane, and it actually does not go down. A great hold by Impulse here, but they still have a long way to go. 10,000 gold behind.
Well, Impulse certainly holding on now. Ziggs ulti going to be back up. Looks like Liquid might try to contest this drag, and of course it's up against Rend. should be an easy dragon take, but the second half of this fight, 10,000 gold deficit. Baron buff is timed out. In comes Team Liquid. That's been picked up. Here comes the fight. Dom in the front lines. It's a 5v5 to win the series. In towards Rush. Rush is going to be the first kill. Impact low. Apollo's going to fall down. Impact lands a stun, but only for a few seconds. It's a 2-for-0 so far. Phoenix on the chase. Rocket and Xiaowei. Xiaowei double kill for the illusion. Boom. Down goes Janna. There's the ace. Team Liquid looking to break the curse.
A strong fight all game. With 3 games to Red going over to Impulse, Liquid was able to figure out what they were doing, look inside the strategy books, inside the minds of Impulse, and figure out how to circumvent their strategies, get around to the Nexus. They've done it once again. They pull it out in 3 games to 2. Team Liquid breaks the curse, and they will take 3rd place in the North American Spring Split.
This is the first time that they've ever been above 4th place in the North American League Championship Series.
5 splits, the first podium now for TL. This is a victory these guys can absolutely savor. This is a team that was 1 game away from Worlds last year.
Yeah.
1 game away from the finals last weekend. Finally, these guys pull out a best of 5 and actually clutch it here. Team Liquid have got to feel happy, and I think it's only upwards for them. This team, when you see how far this team rose compared to the regular season.
Oh,
nice hugs there.
That's awesome.
Where else Team Liquid can go could be very, very impressive.
The camaraderie between those two, Impact and Piglet, absolutely amazing. And credit given where credit is due within that hug.
And watching Team Liquid grow as a team throughout the entire split.
Awesome.
The last few days of the regular season.
Happy Pete.
Beating CLG. Almost beating C9. Almost.
Yeah, they're really happy they didn't actually win 2 games earlier.
Yeah.
The 1-1, got it right there.
And then in this set, going to 5 games again.
Oh my word.
And they played a controlled game. They won their lanes. They picked strong lanes. They picked a comfort composition for them.
That's my note.
And they played to their strengths.
I love that note. The entire series, when do the comfort picks that we saw all season come out for Liquid? Game 5. Yeah. The composition we've seen time and time again from them is the one they fall back to. And that's usually what teams do kind of to feel out the game and start it off. They said, you know what, we'll feel out the game with what they're not expecting, and then we can fall back on the comfort, and it worked beautifully for them.
And Team Liquid, like you said, it worked absolutely beautifully for them to get them that 3rd place finish.
Wow. A lot of work, hard work paid off through a season, a split, I should say, filled with turmoil for Team Liquid. Back and forth with 80 carries and finally finding a little bit of ground in the end of the split. And ultimately, trust for that team is really a big thing. And I think we found, or see that they have found that.
I think the mental fortitude and resilience from playing so many best of 5s really showed through in that 5th game because they didn't let themselves get panicked at all. It was controlled. It was calm. It looked like Dom was just like, I'm going to get an 800 gold advantage in the jungle. I'm going to start snowballing it, wait for Rush to make some moves. And then everybody played around that Sejuani perfectly. And it was really just well done. No panic there seen on them. And people talked about this is a team that likes to tilt. I didn't see any tilt there in Game 5.
No, I think down the line, everyone on Team Liquid played a very good Game 5. It was a much slower game. You saw the lanes going close to equal, occasional advantages, but you had Quas holding down the all-star top laner for Team Impulse, holding Impact, making him stay equal. You had Dom straight up out-jungling Rush. 2 dragons picked up, more gold earned as well. Great things there. Piglet gets his Lucian. That goes nicely. Phoenix forces both summoners out of Xiaowei Xiao by like level 5. Is able to roam into the other fights, rotates out into the fights in the top lane, into the bottom lane quicker. Every single man on Team Liquid, I think, outperformed their counterpart in Game 5. And that's the kind of tenacity I think you really want to have in a roster.
And we were hearing about how Phoenix is the best player in North America in scrims. And he started showing it near the end of the season. Really, really well when he was on carries. And he also showed that he could show up on farm champions too. Phoenix, I'm really excited to see how he grows throughout the remainder of the year.
Absolutely, because to see what these guys went through, now that they have this, the summer split is only going to be stronger. And we said with these wins, obviously, you're going to run through the summer split a little bit, or feeling a little bit more comfortable and able to put up more games.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Team Impulse as well a little bit now.
Let's
they did lose this series, right? They drop into 4th place. 4th place, still not a bad result overall. When you're a brand new team coming together, speaking 3 different languages natively, and having to make this team somehow work.
And kind of stick with the same style that kind of falls over, rolls over.
They invented their style mid-split. They're like, we just played strong champions, and then we finally figured it out. There's a lot of weaknesses on Impulse. You can see them. Their rotations are not very good, and Rush has been slow to adapt to the game since 5.5. Yeah. But these guys now have a month and a half roughly until the summer split. These guys have a lot of time to regroup, to grow as a team. The individual skill is absolutely there. Team Impulse can be an incredibly fearsome team. This is a team that can absolutely make worlds by the summer split. And so their growth is one I want to see. Team Liquid finally grew at the very end. That was good by them. But if TIP keeps going upwards, this will be a more and more fearsome team with an amazing set of individual talent. Just need their strategies to get better.
I think TIP definitely needs to look at some of the tendencies they fall back on. We saw the champion selects going very smoothly for them, and then the last game kind of harkened back to when they wouldn't know what they wanted to pick, right? Obviously, champion select became difficult for them at that moment, but they do choose to kind of go, we practiced this a little bit. Let's actually put you on Sejuani now. Let's put you on Ziggs instead of back onto something that they actually could have fallen back on easily.
It was a curveball in a clutch moment, and it didn't work out for them. That was something that if they were going to play it, I would expect at game 1 to test the series and test the waters.
Yeah.
But in the crucial moment, they didn't go for the Lee Sin that was open.
And that's the thing is, I'm actually very surprised they didn't go back to that comfort. We've seen players like Sven Skarin, you ban his Lee Sin because he'll hard carry the game for you. I actually heard that Rush, basically, when they were scrimming CLG, prepping for all this, they forced CLG to have 16 10-minute forfeits in a row, where they're like, no, Rush won the game, let's try again. And just repeatedly Rush's Lee Sin would just win them games in scrims, and to not pull that back out after pulling, I think, 3 bans at the beginning of the series. I would have liked to see him just look, I'm clearly not playing tanks well. Let's go back to the style that did get us here, and I think it would have been nice to see.
Well, we will have more times to see it. Unfortunately, not this time, as Team Liquid does take the win, break that curse, and finally land themselves on the podium at 3rd place. Right now, Jat is standing by at the telestrator to walk us through Team Liquid's curse-breaking win.
Thanks, guys. Great cast on the day, and an even better series, honestly. Team Liquid actually winning the season, ending the season with the win. If we think back all the way to when Team Liquid started the LCS, they never ended a split with a victory. Whether it was 4th place or 6th place, they were always losing. Now they can actually end a split happy. So congratulations to those guys. But the important thing is actually, when did this game break? And that's what I'm going to be showing here in this telestrator clip. Obviously, Impulse was trying desperately to make a play. Rush had not been able to land any useful Sejuani ultimates for the majority of the game. But from the champion select standpoint, there was definitely more comfort on the picks from Team Liquid. Rush on Sejuani was not a match made in heaven, and honestly, neither was Sejuani on Team Impulse, because they were not able to synchronize their CC very well. Let's actually just get right into this clip to see Rush trying to make a play. They finish the turret, and they think they have an advantage because they have a Mega Gnar teleporting in. That's the biggest thing. They do combo the Sejuani ultimate with the Gnar ultimate, but the thing is, they didn't combo anything else with it. They were out of damage. Their 80 carry was pushed out the back of the fight. Team Liquid is so used to playing with a Lulu top lane and a Nunu jungle that they understand their limits. Piglet played incredibly aggro during that entire fight, and because they were able to win that 3-0, they then just continued it through. They pushed Xiao out of the Baron pit, and they easily secure the Baron. And honestly, once Team Liquid did that, they did not look back. So it was overall, Team Liquid actually going back to what got them here at the start. It was a strange progression of picks and bans throughout the entire series, because Lulu was neither picked nor banned in the majority of the games. So when they actually went back to the Lulu at the end, you could tell it actually surprised Impulse, despite it being Team Liquid's most practiced team composition. All that stuff was very impressive, and is ultimately what allowed Team Liquid to break the curse. And we're actually going to get to hear from a couple of those new 3rd place finishers from Team Liquid with Dash.
Thank you, Jat. Here with Xpecial, Dominate. You guys did it. I mean, it's as simple as that. I can't really say it any other way. You did it. You broke the curse. So, Dominate, I'm coming to you first. Forever 4th. It can't be said anymore. How does that feel?
It feels great. It's such just an annoying thought in the back of your head. It's not something that you really concentrate on all the time, but going into these games, it's like, damn, man, if I finish 4th, like, we're just going to get it forever. So it's nice that, like, for history's sake, there's not going to be Curse forever 4th.
And especially, you have actually been on the flip side of that forever 4th Curse for a long time, in that you were playing on the teams that were pushing Curse down. You were the teams that were beating them and getting 3rd, 2nd, 1st. You then join the roster. You kind of assume the responsibility of trying to break that curse, and you've done it too. So tell me a little bit about your journey in coming into something like that where it's expected and trying to disavow that.
I don't think we ever thought that we would just, forward 4. It's not something that we really keep in mind, but I unexpectedly feel a lot happier. Usually, you know, getting 3rd place, 4th place, like in the end, it doesn't matter too much, especially for spring. But after winning that game, just hearing everybody on the team say, yeah, we broke the curse, screw the curse, you know, stuff like that. So I was happy, and I mean, we really wanted to get, you know, into the finals. Unfortunately, we didn't get there, but I think we're looking a lot stronger now, and we're definitely on the upswing.
Well, you talk about wanting to have been in the finals and not quite getting there, but we must remind ourselves it's the spring split, right? And when we look, if we go back to the beginning of this split, where you guys had a sub, then you were subbing in, subbing out, having some roster issues, and then you look at the fact that you finished 3rd. It's actually quite impressive when you think about the fact that you have an entire split yet ahead of you to improve and fight for that championship spot. So Dominate, back to you. When you look at it under that microscope, how does that make you feel about the future of this roster going into the summer?
I think we have a lot of confidence in each other now, which we necessarily didn't have before, or we didn't necessarily have before. I think that just like when we're playing up there, we just believe we can win. We trust in our teammates, and we trust in each other's calls and abilities. So I think that's like given us a huge, just like it's been a huge breakthrough for us, because before, you know, like one thing would go bad and then everyone would kind of just like play a solo queue game. That was how it felt. But now it's like, if anything goes bad, we're all just focused on winning and seeing what we can do to help each other. And instead of it being like, okay, well, that lane's done, like, I'm just going to farm my lane, it's like, how can we help each other's lanes? How can we influence the map to make sure that no one snowballs out of control on the enemy team?
All right, and then Special, I want to turn to today's matchup specifically because you guys did come off of that reverse sweep, which has pained the team before, but today was so much of a back and forth best of 5, right? Game for game for game for game, and you guys came out on top this time. So what was different from a mindset perspective in the team that allowed you guys to take the losses, roll with the punches, and come back even stronger game after game?
Even when we got reverse swept by Cloud9, we never felt like, oh, we're going to lose this game. We didn't feel like we're going to get swept. And in this game, we were at the point where it was 2-1. We could have easily lost the 4th game and would have been game over. But we didn't think that. We were just like, all right, guys, let's play our best. Let's go there. We didn't even think about like the 4th thing at all. We were just like, guys, let's just play our best. Let's do our best, and hopefully we win.
All right, and then Dominate. The series before, you had tweeted out how you pride yourself on being a clutch smiter and that you feel if you had gotten that one, maybe this Cloud9 series would have gone differently. Today, though, you came in huge with 2 steals and a secure against double smite consumes. You know, how, I mean, there's no real question attached to that. I just kind of want to get your perspective on coming into this match and knowing that so much could hinge on a single play like that where you can secure your team the win, and how you felt coming out of today, knowing that you can claim yourself as a clutch smite.
I think it's just like, it's something that you always just want to be able to do in the moment. It's never something that you go into a series like, oh yeah, I just need to hit, like, I need to steal a Baron here. Like, you never want the game to come down to a Baron steal, but if I'm in that situation, I pride myself on being able to, like, stay focused, stay calm, like, read the numbers, and try to, like, actually get my smite in there at a good time. And, yeah, I think that just today I was able to, like, prove that I can, like, steal Barons, and you should be afraid to go into 50-50 situations with me.
Now, on a somewhat lighter note and non sequitur, earlier in the split, Steve tweeted out that he would take you guys all out to Hawaii if you finished higher, anywhere higher than 4th. Was that any extra motivation there for you guys to get a little trip out of it, or is that just kind of in the back of your minds?
I don't think we even want to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
No?
Most of us are just going to, like, go back, maybe take, like, a couple days. Like, I know I'm going to go on vacation with my girlfriend for, like, 4 or 5 days, and then just come back and start grinding. Like, that's pretty much my goal.
Right back to the grindstone. So, actually, when we look forward to the next split, we've talked about how there is a lot of room for growth, but what are your guys' immediate plans when you do come back? Is it, back to mechanics, back to solo queue, just keeping yourselves as individuals fresh and keeping your love for the game fresh, or is it back to scrims and doing, more team-oriented things where you talk about improving that communication and being able to support each other when things don't go perfectly in a game?
I think a lot of it is now that we got the trust down, it's not going to go away. We're not going to all of a sudden be like, oh, Klaus, you just
back from vacation, I no longer trust you.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. So, we're going to work on both solo queue and scrims, but, right now all I can think of is this, I want to go home. Let's just get some downtime and just relax a bit. And this split has been really up and down, and it's nice that we ended the split on a win, but then we need to, get rid of some stress and then come back really strong for a summer split, which matters even more.
Now, when this split, and this season in particular, so far has had an incredible amount of diversity in champions. We've watched the tank meta develop, but even within that meta, where we do see a lot of tanky champions, the pools within each role are rather large. We saw in this series specifically, the bans changed drastically between games. There were only 2 shared bans between the first 2 games, a couple shared bans between the second 2 games. What has that done for you guys as players and your development, knowing that there are far more playable options out there seemingly this season than in the past, and the way that you have to practice and prepare for these matches?
I personally just think it comes down to meta. This meta in particular has a lot of more diversity, because before it was pretty much bruiser junglers for the last season and a half pretty much. So you kind of have just Lee Sin, Elise, Eve, and Kha'Zix as the main champions, and then you'd have champions that would come in after that as fillers. But now you have the ability to play Lee Sin, Rek'Sai, but you can also play tanks. So I think it just adds a lot of diversity into the pool. And I think it's kind of good for some of us older players, because we've just played a lot more games on weird champions that might randomly become meta. So for example, Nunu wasn't too good this season, but then when the Juggernaut came in, or Cinderhulk rather, came in, it's one of my favorite champions to play, and I really feel like that's a power pick for me. So I think that the meta just kind of favored us in that respect.
All right, well, you guys played phenomenally today. It was a really hard-fought series. I want to congratulate you again on snagging that 3rd place, getting those championship points, and rolling into the summer split in a good position. Now, there were a ton of great plays today, but one player stood out and claimed our player of the series honor, and today it goes to the man sitting right over here, I Will Dominate. Now, he had multiple clutch plays at Baron, only dying twice in their wins and racking up a 21.5 KDA over 3 games. Now, Dominate innovated his item build to support his team, particularly in the last game where he built Zeke's Herald to support their double AD comp. And that's actually something I kind of want to turn back to you towards, because that's an item you see very rarely, if ever. And it actually, when it popped up, I was standing next to Jad, it kind of caught us both, off guard. But then immediately we were like, that makes perfect sense. On Nunu, it gives you 20% CDR, and then it gives you attack damage and lifesteal to your AD carries. It allows them to be a little bit more aggressive in their positioning in fights. Was this something that was a gold amount that you came back with? Because it is cheaper than Frozen Heart, for example. But
no, something that Piglet wanted, but I think that our mentality into it was that we were going to go AD Corki and AD Lucian, but then we ended up going AP Corki, so I don't even know if it was a good item to build there anymore. But I was already almost complete. I have a Vam Scepter. What am I going to do? Build a Hydra on Nunu? So I pretty much just had to go with the Zeeks at that point, and it was good for Piglet. And I'll take a little bit more attack damage, some Nunu slaps in there. So.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, we saw the second Needlessly Large Rod come in for Corki, and we're like, wait a second, that's not an AD Corki. Anyway, Dominate, you've received this MVP honors. That's got to be a pretty solid seal to the spring split for you.
Yeah, it feels really good. It sucks that we couldn't go to the finals, but I'm happy that we were able to do well in the series, and above the MVP, I'm just happy that we won.
All right, dude. Well, another day of action is in the history books, so let's pull up the bracket. There is only one thing left to be decided, and that's our North American Spring Split champions. But we now have our 3rd place team snapping the curse. It's Team Liquid, who won today 3-2. That means Team Impulse finishes in 4th place. In addition to ending the split with a huge win, Team Liquid have also claimed an additional 20 championship points. They will carry those points into the summer split, where they will play an important role in determining which teams have the honor of representing North America at Worlds. Now, we'll be back tomorrow with another full day of league action as we crown our LCS champions. The day starts in Madrid, where Fnatic will attempt to take back their EU championship title when they take on the rookie team, Unicorns of Love. Then we'll bring the action back here to Los Angeles for Cloud9 versus defending champions Team Solo Mid. Our coverage begins at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Central European Summertime. Now remember to head over to lolesports.com today to reserve your spot at our upcoming midseason invitational from May 7th to May 10th. The best teams from around the world will descend on Tallahassee, Florida to fight in 4 days of epic matches. Click the tickets link for all the details. Now, again, gentlemen, congratulations on your victory today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me on the desk before you greet all of the fans that have gathered here to support you guys. And now for all of us here on the North American broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for Championship Sunday. Again, guys.
Back in the back lines. Special one hit away from God scoring away.
Piglet's gonna go down. Can he make it in the door? Jumped over by Impact. Oh my gosh! Brings them game 1 in this best of 5 series.
Gone for a flash on Burrow all game.
Oh,
he got it, yeah!
Oh, he win-walled the ultimate.
The glacial prison.
Going on this one hard. That's going to be Apollo. The equalizer is just cooking Impulse right now.
Are you okay?
He's so tired.
You tired?
Yeah, he's sleepy.
It's okay.
Don't sleep during the game.
This is the last series for the summer. Spring.
Peter forgot English completely now.
And he flies right for Dominate, tries to take a bite out of the hindsight. The rocket comes through actually for Apollo to clean that up.
Impulse. We're going to be winning game 3 here. Team Liquid about to join into the fray. I got it again! Nice. On the high grip. Let's go. Mid here.
And we are going to be taking this one to a game 5. Trying to figure out how to stop this bleeding right now, and Liquid is not stopping at all.
It's a 5v5 to win the series. In towards Rush. Rush is going to be the first kill. Impact low. Apollo's going to fall.
Team Liquid breaks the curse, and they will take 3rd place in the North American Spring Split.